to get there, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing stories.
We didn't press record.
What?
I was like, oh, we didn't press record for this meeting.
Oh, the whole thing? Yeah.
Yay, so we're recording now.
We mess up a lot.
Because we know what we're doing. All good. And hey, we got some new people popping in. We had Shadiah and Anna and everybody. Thanks for popping in, guys. This is great. So I guess it's time to start announcing things.
Yeah. You want to announce? Are we doing a
Are you guys
giveaway?
ready for some giveaway announcements? Raise the roof if you are.
Raise up the roof.
Only a few people. Oh, now they're coming.
Oh, he's got the heart.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, look at that. Get it, Jim? I like that.
Some things I wanted to point out. The chat was like blowing up, and got some really great things out of here. Like Yamil, I hope I said that right. Yamil McBride. She says everyone is perfect, but she's also sick of it. She's like, was it just me, or who else is confused as fuck?
Right? Like everything.
You're not alone. And so we got some real talk happening. Terry said, we can still love and support each other, even if we don't know what we're doing. And I think that's really true. When you really open up with more transparency and vulnerability, you really start to connect with people, and you don't feel that loneliness as much as you used to, at least in my mind. I feel like that's great. So we got some great statements, good stuff, really excited about some prizes. And Philip, I know the pandemic sucked, but without it, I would not have met Anastasia and David and so many other people I've invited for this. That's very true, Philip. Thank you. I mean, who here has met some amazing people this year in this pandemic? Like, raise a hand or shake one. Yeah, I've met some really great people, like Philip and all of you people that have popped on here. Thanks for being here. All right. So I think we're ready for some giveaways.
All right.
Which is really, really exciting. Which one are we starting with? Like Oculus?
The Oculus, yeah.
Okay. Well, let me pop up that
So
picture, maybe.
Maybe.
Like, this has kind of been all day, guys. This is kind of like, maybe you'll be ready. Maybe you'll be ready. Okay, here we go.
Ooh.
So we have, if you guys don't know what an Oculus really is, we'll just briefly tell you about it. So this is the Oculus Quest 2, and it's done by Facebook. Cool. It's virtual reality. So you wear this cool headset on your face, and I can do it that. Yeah. And you get these two wands that are kind of like your controller or your hands. And I personally enjoy the Beat Saber, which David referred earlier, where I literally play Guitar Hero, but with lightsabers. And so that is like the best thing ever. There's archery games, there's boxing games, there's drive racing games.
There's a rock climbing game where you can you're actually like climbing up these beautiful rock cliffs. It's
and
crazy.
The experiences, like, you know, checking out Petra and Jordan or Under the Sea, or, you know, like experiences like that, roller coasters. That was fun. Being chased by a dinosaur from Jurassic Park. That's not so fun. I think Audrey on here, she can definitely vouch for that. She didn't enjoy that, right? And Barb, she says, I need it. Kelly says, so cool. Yeah, this thing's really awesome. And it's valued at $300, $400?
I think $400.
$400.
Or $299.
And it's one, it's worth every penny, but two, it is a steal for today. And so we're really excited to announce the winner. So that is the Oculus 2. I'm going to close this out so that I can get to my little randomized generator that I created.
And while you're pulling that up, the reason I really like this technology as well, this is the first all-inclusive virtual reality headset. It used to be you had to set sensors up in your room and create like this whole space, and there were wires that were connected, and you needed like a $3,000 gaming computer laptop or computer to run the technology. Facebook accelerated the shrinking of the technology, and now it's completely encased in itself. So the sensor, you don't need to be connected to anything. You can take it anywhere. I bring it to like any friend's house I go to. I'm like, hey, you got to try this thing out.
Well, you might know this answer. So Yamil asked, can you use it with a PlayStation 5? Not 15. I think it's 5. Right?
Yeah, so PlayStation, Xbox, they have their own versions of VR. This one, I don't believe that you can, but you can probably sync games into it.
I know you can sync games. Yeah, I know you can do that. So it's
and you might
cool.
be able to, because it does have the Oculus Link, which you can connect to a computer if you want to do that. But
and it's also the future.
Yeah.
So just tune into the future. Okay.
Um,
And Kay is on here. Hey, Kay. Thanks
Yeah.
for popping in.
Sorry,
She
Kay.
won
What's up, Kay?
the portable studio last week.
At our
Yeah,
early
last week.
bird giveaway.
Yeah, so you missed out, guys. Anyway, okay, so we are gonna do a random number generator. I'm gonna share my screen, so transparency and all that. And I have a lot of screens open, so here we go.
You're just swiping through 10 different things.
Yeah, right. So this is not the one I wanted. What are we doing?
Oh, no, unshare.
I did. There we go. Okay, now it's there. I was like, what's happening? So this is Google. They got a cool little number generator. We have 619 entries. Now, some people bought tickets that equaled 100 entries. Some people bought tickets that were 10 entries, and then some of the free ones were 1 entry. So this is going to be the number generator. I'm just going to click this a few times and see what happens. So you ready, guys? Let's do a little drum roll. David, can you do the drum roll? Drum roll on your desks, guys. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 535. Wow. I always kind of assume it's always going to be in the middle, but it doesn't ever work out that way. Okay, so I'm going to go to the sheet where everything's all listed.
Do you want to unshare?
Number 535. Yeah, protect names. I'll do that. 535. There's a lot of numbers here. We got Diana Carroll. Woo! You want to unmute Carol if you're here?
She was here. I saw her.
Awesome.
There she is.
Carol, what is the first thing you're going to do when you get this virtual reality set?
Read the instructions and figure out how to use it. Or ask my grandson. He'll tell me.
You know, it's so useful and intuitive. It's really, really cool. You'll really like it.
Our video is off.
My video's off?
Oh, no, wait, what's happening? I don't know.
Cool.
Okay, never mind. I'm just making up stuff.
Oh, I went over a screen.
Yeah, we know what we're doing, guys.
Yeah.
So, Diana, we're super excited for you. We'll reach out to you tomorrow to set up a time when we can do a pickup or drop off because you are local, which is awesome.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we're the.
Or I can come down to the office because I need some help from David.
Yeah, let's do that and get a selfie. All right. So, Carol gets the Oculus 2. Now it is time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Carol.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to play some Beat Saber with you. We're gonna have some fun. Or maybe some Population 1. I feel like she would be good at Population 1.
Yeah. Just out there shooting 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's like Fortnite, but like.
You know, teaming up with them, taking over the world, that kind of thing. All right. So, I think
are we doing the next one?
The gallery view on our doodad.
Yeah, I messed it up. I was pushing buttons.
View at the top there. Yeah. I was like, we love you,
There
Carol,
we
but we
go.
want to see everyone. There we go. Okay. So we are going to do the randomizer for, now you can't win twice, unfortunately, guys. But we are going to do the giveaway once it pops up. Whenever that happens. Whenever it happens. Whenever it happens. There we go. I don't know why it took so long. So we are giving away a 4-day Mexico resort. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look amazing?
That's so cool.
So what this means is that you get 4 days at an awesome resort of your choice in a city. So it's gonna be like Cancun, Cabo, all those places are on the list. And you get to choose which one you want to go to. And again, you can use this within 2 years. So 24 months, you can actually use this doodad and go.
You can call it a voucher.
A voucher, there you go. You can use this voucher to go and just have fun, swim with turtles, climb pyramids, things like that, you know, whichever you like to do. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. We got Yamil saying, I'm loving it. Everyone's excited about these prizes. We're glad you're excited about these prizes. We're really excited. So who's excited for this Mexico trip? Raise the roof. I got Danielle putting her hands way up here through the roof. All right.
I've got a couple of people trying to get into the room. So I want to, because it is, you must be present to win. So that's one of the keys of
so
this
let's
one
wait
here.
for a couple minutes while we do that.
But you can run the randomizer. And I think
if they pop in.
Yeah.
We can...
So we're good.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
We're doing it this as we go. Everyone's like, you can do what you want. You're giving us Mexico. Totally fine. All right, I'm going to share my screen.
The other thing too, I wanted to do the giveaway because I really appreciate everyone being here. I wanted to do it before the watch party instead of kind of forcing everyone to like sit, because when like, I don't know, seminars, they like force you to sit through a whole thing and then you get the prize at the end, and it's not nearly as good as you ever think it is.
Yeah, you're like, womp womp.
Yeah, so we wanted to exceed expectations, give you awesome prizes at the beginning, and then we're gonna do the watch party.
So I just realized we don't need to get like automated sound effects. We got me. Like so, wah, wah. Anyway. Okay.
Oh, go ahead. So you got the number?
I was gonna click buttons, so go ahead.
Go ahead. Let's
Click
do
button.
the thing. Yeah, click the button, and then I'll make another announcement.
Okay. So Yamil, the excitement is real. She's a chatter. I love it.
I love
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do a drum roll, please. Drum roll your desks, everyone. We're gonna click some buttons in 3, 2, 1. 65.
65. That's an early
You got a
sign up.
really like late number and then an early number.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Oops,
Okay,
sorry.
hide-
Got to hide names for security.
Okay, and then I'm going to make a request because we are giving you guys some awesome stuff here. So we've got, if you guys would go to Anchor or use your favorite podcast player. I've had a lot of people actually ask, what is a podcast? Which is basically, it's just an internet radio show. But you get a subscription for it. So you can listen to it on your iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora's doing podcasts now. Really, it's just basically a radio station. So if you guys can go to the Anchor FM, IDK WTF Pod, or just ask your smart home, your smart speaker to play our podcast,
Your
or
robot slaves.
yeah. So please sign up because it's going to be great. It helps us a whole lot.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah.
and then we're also going to do announcements and things too. Like we are going to do more giveaways and so on. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to tune in.
Yeah, we're doing giveaways all the time, which is
Yeah. We're not going to say how often, but David was getting pretty close to almost daily. And I was
like every day.
whoa. I was like, that's cool, but I don't know if we can keep up.
nice. Donnie signing up right there.
All right. Is everybody in the room that is admittable?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Terry, she's following on Spotify. Thank you, Terry.
Nice.
Okay, so we ready? We have the number of 65. Drum roll, please.
Ooh.
That is going to Barbara Larson.
Woo!
4 days in Mexico. Barbara, do you want to unmute
Are you
yourself?
serious? I'm the winner.
You are the winner, Chica.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I am so excited. I have been wanting to travel. I am itching. I'm ready to go.
I think
Nice.
we're all ready.
We're making this happen.
Absolutely. So, Barbara, what is the city in Mexico that you really want to go visit? Hopefully it's on the list.
I want to go to Tulum.
Tulum.
Which
Who's
is
been to
not far
Tulum?
from
Wiggle some
Cancun.
fingers. Anyone been to Tulum? I have actually.
It might be, that might be on the list.
I think.
not
Well, I know
certain.
it's near Cancun. So
Yeah.
if you
It's
pick
near
Cancun,
Cancun.
I know that's going to be on the list. Then you can definitely go to Tulum and check that out, and raid
Nice.
some ruins.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Barb. We really appreciate your support
Yeah.
and being
Oh,
here.
so
And I
excited.
hope you're driving and not in a cave somewhere.
I am driving.
Awesome. Very good. Awesome. Okay. Well, we have given away our prizes. Thank you, everyone who decided to enter and put in more entries and so on. If you did get a VIP or a golden ticket, you are still getting stuff, which is so cool.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff to give away.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to say we can do,
Mhm.
because I do actually have one extra voucher
Ooh.
for a 4-day
Surprise.
Mexico. Yeah, I dropped these. So if you guys do stay on to the end of this, we're going to give away one more. What just happened?
I didn't do it.
We're going to give away one more trip to Mexico at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
I think our camera decided to be like,
oh, Danny's dancing. She likes that. Amanda's smiling. So it's Jamil. Did I say right? No, Jamile.
Sure.
She gave us she was smiling.
We got a lot of comments.
It's Jamile.
Jamile.
Oh, Yamile.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you. I did say that wrong. Sorry.
She's smiling.
Okay.
Mitch. That's a cool background.
Yeah, you
All
guys
right.
got some cool backgrounds. Like, look at Phillips.
All right, so I
And-
think
All right, so we are ready
Oh.
to play our podcast.
we have one more ask.
Oh, no, we have one more ask.
Yeah, one
Oh,
more ask.
Okay.
So the other thing we're doing, because the core of this, we don't just want to do a podcast. We actually want to bring together a community.
Mhm.
We want places where you guys can connect, where you can interact with each other, where you really feel that community support. And you can ask questions and get help from people who, like we were mentioning, is just one step ahead of you.
Yeah.
You know, it's so much, to me, it's so much more helpful getting help from someone who's one step ahead, who just completed that thing I was looking for,
Yeah.
whether it's setting up a website or launching a podcast.
Or know how to
personally.
close a sale.
Yeah. Write copy or create an email list. So we're putting this together and we've started a Patreon account. So this helps us create better and bigger giveaways in the future.
Like big stuff.
Like big stuff.
Big. Monstrous.
And we're open to
massive.
suggestions as well.
Yeah, we are totally open for suggestions because you know everything that's happening. Put it in the chat, Amanda. I hear you're eager. We got some hands happening here with Tushitma. I'm not sure what that name is. Is that Gary? You look like Gary. You look like Gary. Yeah, is that you? All right, I can't tell. All right. So we are doing a Patreon account, and do you need the link or what do you look for?
Well, I had it like 10 seconds ago.
I have.
I got it right here.
'Cause I'm a lady and I have everything prepared and ready to go. So-
If you don't know what Patreon is, it's just a way you can follow. It's $5. So it's a monthly, just $5 subscription.
But the cool thing about this Patreon, which is really freaking exciting, is that we have behind the scenes content. And then
Yeah.
we also have secret interviews with the people that we bring onto the podcast. These are people that walk on stage with Tony Robbins. These are people that have won ridiculous awards, Forbes, 100, 200, 5,000 companies. Like, we're talking really cool, awesome people you probably want to listen to. Like, that's kind of the excuse, partial excuse why I was like, yeah, let's do this podcast because I want to have these conversations. So you can actually listen to some of those behind the scenes secret interviews that we have with them outside of what we do publish on, say, YouTube and also Spotify and Apple and so on. So it's $5 a month. So it's not a lot, but we also are giving the giveaways through there mostly. So if you want more often to go in and be like, yeah, I want to go to Mexico, you want to sign up for Patreon for sure.
Yeah.
And so we got Amanda here saying startup or course correction funds to help startup stabilize, scale, and plan proper exist for businesses. That is a lot of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you understood any of that, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's just great. And she's
Classic Amanda right there.
classic Amanda. Yeah, for sure. So,
But yeah, Cup of Coffee really supports us. We'll do huge, big giveaways and really bring this cool community together.
exactly.
And-
Yeah. Okay, so I think we need to do a cheers
Oh,
before we go into our video and we watch and we cringe and we laugh and we joke at our first episode of the podcast, because we're going to watch actually the YouTube video that'll be loading like at midnight because we didn't get it in time. So there's that.
the episodes are up on most of all the podcast players. though.
Yeah, this is true. So it's all good. We're figuring it out because we don't know what we're doing.
Oh,
Neither
you've
do
got
you.
feedback. So cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for being
cheers
here.
up, water or other beverage, and cheers to all of you while we will all watch this podcast together.
Cheers. Satisfying sound.
Oh, everybody just make your own clinky sound or hit something. All right.
Cool.
So are we ready to watch this episode? Raise the roof, wiggle some fingers if that's your thing to do. Alex, nice
Yes.
clink. All right. Yeah.
Why do we keep disappearing?
I don't know. We just don't get to see ourselves, and that's okay. We want to see everyone else anyway.
That's fair.
So we are going to watch this recording, and we're going to wait for this to load because it's taking forever. Okay. If you guys do not hear sound, let me know in the chat
Did you do-
because why? What?
The shared
I
computer
did.
sound. Okay, cool.
But sometimes things happen because tech hates me.
And if you guys, so this is like You guys can talk and comment and laugh at us, so you don't have to be silent through this whole thing.
Yes.
Because we're going to be laughing here in the background.
Yeah, just don't all 100 of you do it at once.
Unless you want to. We're not the boss of you.
All right, so here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
That's a great intro.
That's really loud.
Welcome! You are at the I Don't Know What the Fuck I'm Doing podcast.
Ooh.
How's that?
That sounds good. Episode 1. Our
Episode
very
1.
first episode 1.
And we are having an episode launch party. And if you are watching it live, hello! And
What's
thanks for
up?
being here.
Woo, live people.
Yeah. And if you missed it, you can definitely go and see the recording and see everyone's faces reacting to our first podcast video, which would be fun.
I'm
so this
really
is the podcast.
excited to see people laughing at us with us.
Yes. And snickering, pointing, spilling milk out of their nose, things like that. I'm sure will happen, guaranteed.
Yes. It's gonna be pretty fun.
Absolutely.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself for all those listeners who might be listening to this after our launch party?
Yeah, well, my name is Anastasia Button. For all of you that do not know me, that is okay. I'm not big into big business bios anymore, but if you must know some things, I am a published author, international speaker, and was a consultant for large corporations. This is 2020, the end of 2020, and for 2020, I was on sabbatical, and that was freaking amazing. I did not read one business book. I did not read one fiction book. All I did was have fun and delve into projects that I really wanted to do that I had not done before because I was distracted by business. And so I'm really excited about this podcast because I think it's going to talk about a lot of the things that irk and drive us entrepreneurs crazy, and really take maybe even David and myself down a completely different path that we didn't know was going to be there, but we'll find out.
Find out we will.
David, please introduce yourself to everyone.
In case we didn't say this earlier, anytime that David does a pregnant pause, and that means, what you've looked up the definition earlier, what was it?
Yeah, so it's they call it a pregnant pause because it's a pause that holds so much potential that it's like an unbirthed baby or a baby that's about to be born. And I pause a lot because Anastasia is like a professional speaker.
Yeah.
And I'm just a dude.
You're just dude.
I'm just a dude that I run classes and facilitate stuff.
So anytime
way
he does a
better.
pregnant pause, you drink.
Yeah.
Or you eat, or you do jumping jacks, whichever is your poison. Okay, but I am
Amanda's
going to
like
be.
jumping jacks. Okay.
Yeah, Danielle's like, I'm right ahead of you. So anytime he does a pregnant pause, which means a long pause between his sentences or just in his sentence, you are welcome to take a drink, and I guarantee you'll be having loads of fun by the end of this. Raise the roof. There we go. All right, here we go.
Silence.
A swelling silence. There you go, Mitch. You're a professional Toastmaster and speaker. You get it. There we go, guys. All right, watch out for those pregnant pauses.
So I am David B. So I'm the, I guess my typical thing is I'm the author of an upcoming book, organizer of a group called Colorado Mastermind. And I just actually acquired a travel agency this year, at the end of 2020. So I'll be doing travel agent stuff through 2021, which is pretty exciting.
Which hopefully we can all really dive into travel in 2021 for sure.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are watching this or listening to this are just like going batshit crazy because they can't go travel, self included.
Yeah, the media has already coined the term revenge travel. I don't know if you know this. Like, people are so mad at 2020 that they're just going to get on a plane and just go somewhere as soon as they can.
I love it. Revenge travel.
Screw you, 2020. So, yeah.
Well, we are here to really help normalize uncertainty to entrepreneurs and really just get everyone to really understand that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. David and I don't know what the fuck we're doing, even in this very exact moment. And everyone else usually, probably, most likely, does not know what the fuck they're doing as well. But we're here to talk about a lot of failures, successes, lessons, and we're bringing in guests as well that we interview and really tell us their what the fuck stories.
And we want to talk about why it's okay to not know what you're doing as long as you're still doing something anyway. You just
exactly
and make it totally acceptable.
Taking action, right?
Absolutely.
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 But one thing that David and I were talking about earlier, and I will give credit to my friend Ben Baker, who definitely helped bring this term to light, is the veneers. Now, you probably, when I say that, you're probably thinking veneer, like a polish that you put on a table, or like the fake teeth that you put into your mouth, veneers. Actually, let's use both analogies for that, because I think it really works for what we're calling the veneers. And I think we've all been veneers at some point of our life. I know I have, so I'm going to tell you my veneer story. But basically, a veneer is someone that feels like they need to put on a facade, a mask, as it were, to really posture or to say, hey, I'm the expert and I've never had a bad day in business or a bad month in business. Like, I'm just a rock star and you should use me all the time. You know, it's just that person that doesn't seem to have any faults, but is so transparent that you can tell that they're lying and or very insecure. And so that was really my story. Probably the first 2 to 3 years in my business. My name and my brand actually got quite a lot of visibility and acknowledgement, especially in Colorado. I was speaking on stages. I was going on a ridiculous amount of podcasts. I was Skyping into events across the world. Like, it was pretty crazy. Anastasia was everywhere. And that was great. But the problem is that lots of people came up to me and was like, oh, you're a success. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. And I remember one message I got from someone I didn't even know. They were out of the country and they sent me a message being like, I need you to help me. And I was like, I don't specialize in what you're needing help in, but I can refer you. And they got so mad that I wouldn't help them. They said, that's because you're rich and you're not going to help me. And then they like blocked me and all that stuff. And that was fine. But I was like, because I'm rich. Oh, hello, person I just met. I am not rich. See, at the time I was on stages and I was on news channels, but behind the scenes, I was making little to no money. I would have like 200 sales conversations in 1 year. This is a true story. I had over 200 sales conversations in 1 year. And my name was everywhere. I wasn't telling anyone that I was struggling at the time because I had been speaking, and through all that speaking, I created lead generation that came to sales conversations. And 200 of those sales conversations, I converted 0 people to actually go into any of my coaching programs or to like buy anything, really. So there was this figure and this brand that was like, so there, but behind the scenes, I wasn't making any money. And I remember when I finally said that in his speech, I told that story to a bunch of people where I was like, this is my story. I was a veneer for a while. I was showing up a lot of fluff, but I didn't have any substance really behind me. I wasn't having financial success, and I felt really crappy about it. And this guy came up to me after one of these speeches, and he was just like, Anastasia, that was one of the best stories I've ever heard in my entire life because no one talks about it. And I was like, you're right. And it wasn't that long ago when that had happened, when I gave that speech. And so he just showed a lot of respect for the fact that I was actually allowing myself to tell that story and show some sort of vulnerability. Because as business owners, we can't show vulnerability, especially to each other, because we're afraid that someone else might tear us down. So I like this coin term that we're now magically creating called the veneers.
The veneer.
So the opposite of David is Anastasia talks a lot. So anyway, we have a really fun joke from the chat, actually. We wanted to share you about these veneers. David, go ahead.
Oh, no. Where is it?
Oh, there it is. Yep.
So Mitch says, when I travel, I always bring back souvenir. And I was looking at that and I was like, souvenir. And I cracked up. That was so witty and funny. That was really good.
So if you
cheers
feel
to
like Anastasia is speaking too long, you can take a shot too. So we got 2 games going on. We got jokes in the chat. Like, I'm loving it. Keep it up, guys. This is great. So we're ready to resume. Here we go. Oh, and by the way, stay tuned because we just found out that we can issue another big grand prize to a lucky winner, random lucky winner. Who's excited? Roof. Yes. Okay.
All right.
Enough about me. Enough about you. There we go.
Oh, and at the end, we're going to do a Q&A session also. I was
Yeah.
going to type that.
So, BTW.
Or
Here we go.
raised her hand.
There are veneers out there. You're probably one a little bit yourself, and really kind of look at that veneer self and ask yourself, do you know what the fuck you're doing? I mean, there might be some areas in your business and in your activities or your life that you do know some things and you're doing very well at those things. But are some things really luck, or are some things by circumstance, or are some things just because you're putting the consistency in, or are things really a shit show and you're just not talking about it? So that's kind of where I come from, is quite a bit of lot of like PR success, but not having any financial success, to finally twisting that around to where it was the complete opposite. All of a sudden I was making more money. I got a coach that really helped me with sales, and I was able to go from like 0 to hero, no time flat. Disney reference, in case you didn't get that. It's Hercules. I went to 0 to hero, no time flat, and I was able to make sales, and it was absolutely intense. But the PR side was completely gone. I didn't do much of that at all. I think I got like 1 speaking gig and 1 podcast interview in 1 year, and I made more money in that year than I ever did before that. And so it was just kind of interesting how taking away the veneer actually brought me specifically more success. And I kind of wonder if people out there have the same feeling or stories on that.
I imagine that a lot of people can relate to that, as far as just that feeling of having to have a veneer, though, because there's a lot of pressure, especially in the entrepreneurial world, and especially when, as entrepreneurs, there's friends and family don't necessarily support their goals and their dreams, so they have to even more so show, hey, this is actually okay. I need support because I'm being successful. Or, hey, come buy something from me because, I am doing it successfully.
Right.
And I think it's interesting that sometimes when we're speaking, we lose our train of thought.
I just did that earlier. Yeah.
That we were about to say, that was going to be the best point ever.
Oh man, it was going to land so well.
So
it was going to
good,
become a meme, David. Like, what?
And just flittered away.
So I could have edited that out, right? So I could have edited the fact that I totally forgot what I was going to say, but I wanted to leave it in because, again, it's really important that, like, the authenticity, as someone was saying, and just that real roughness is shown. And so that's what I kind of want to keep in this podcast.
And I'm seeing people taking drinks already, which is great. Some pregnant pauses in there. Here we go.
Bars back. All right, keep going.
My mind.
It didn't flutter, it flittered.
It flittered, yeah.
Because, let's talk a little bit about the lucky side of business, because there's a lot of people that are probably listening, and I know you and I have done some things very consistently and some things not so consistently.
Yeah.
But then there's these times in our business and even in life where we're doing our doing, and we do these actions every day or rather consistently, and then all of a sudden we just have this crazy amount of luck in life. And I know you have a really cool story that was actually rather recently too.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about kind of like the entrepreneur luck that we can experience.
So, and that's kind of the benefit of putting up a veneer there is some benefit to it, and it is okay to do that, I think, especially when you're first starting off, because having that veneer forces you to take more action. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably the least consistent in my action out of anyone I know, and it's because I have this ADHD brain, which is the one thing I've learned this year. As far as how I operate from an ADHD mindset, it lets me do a lot of stuff in a short amount of time really, really well. And so I'll set up groups. I've built a website. I've put out all kinds of marketing, and then I've studied and I research and I build all these systems, and then I don't do anything for like a month. But then I'll repeat that cycle over and over. And the key is that I found to be more successful is to consistently do something. So I was consistently having meetings each week. So I built a group, Colorado Mastermind. And so we were consistently meeting. People were starting to know me. The brand was getting at least out through Colorado. But what really happened was someone said, hey, you need to set up a website outside. It was just a meetup group. Someone said, hey, you need to build a website. So built a website in a weekend, made it look nice, got a logo, did all this stuff because Hyperfocus gets it all done.
Yeah.
And so that was just a website that was sitting there. I never really did anything with it. And then Dean Graziosi, Russell Brunson, and Tony Robbins bought mastermind.com because they wanted to launch this big brand. And so because I owned Colorado Mastermind.com, they reached out to me and said, hey, we've got this mastermind.com. We're launching this big project. It's going to be the biggest thing that's ever been launched. Would you like to be a part of it? And I was like, yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. But that wouldn't have happened if I didn't just randomly have a website put up, and I'm very simple with my names because I have Colorado Mastermind group. It's like, let's just get coloradomastermind.com. And so that was a fun journey where we got to go out. We did really well. So I flew out to Vegas, met some of the top coaches, entrepreneurs, influencers in the world. And literally every single one of them said, you know, I didn't really do anything that anyone else isn't doing. Something just happened. One person's had a Instagram post go viral, and so it launched his $1 million company. Another woman was a photographer, and she just her blog just took off at some point somehow because she was consistently blogging. It was just one weird thing. They're like, well, I didn't necessarily plan for that to be the thing that launched me to success, but they did it. And because they had some systems in place that they could handle it, they were able to ride that wave for as long as it took.
I think that's so interesting and really good to point out. And another thing, again, my friend Ben Baker, what he said in our conversation today was, you know, with business, a lot of time it's just setting yourself up for the lucky draw. And in your experience, you had that lucky draw, and it was just preparing yourself to be able to handle that lucky draw too.
One of my favorite quotes real quick is, so luck is the intersection of where opportunity and preparation meet.
Right. Exactly.
A lot of people get lucky breaks, but they are not prepared for it.
Right. And I think that's, you know, I'm going to kind of tackle something, and we might get a lot of shade for it. Be prepared.
Get that shade. Shade is coming.
And this tends to be especially with newer entrepreneurs where they really, and I myself included when I did this, they really dive into like the secret and the law of attraction and Bob Proctor and all that. And all that's great and good. I mean, it gets you started, right? It gets you really thinking differently about how you are in a lot more control of what you want and desire than you think. But the problem is that a lot of entrepreneurs tend to just go in and they just keep saying things, and they keep putting it out there and writing it down in their journals, and they're not taking the little actions to set them up for the lucky draw. And so it's like you are attracting things to you, but you're not ready for it because you haven't prepared anything for it. And
the flip side of that, and I think we talked about it before as well, or in a different episode, but preparedness procrastination. So a lot of people will buy that next course because it feels like action, and they're like, hey, I need to learn this next thing because that feels like action. I need to study this thing because it feels like action, but they never set anything up. They're not actually taking action. They're not making the calls. They're not setting up the website. If someone said, hey, I want to give you $1 million right now for your service, they have no way to take that money.
Right. And you know, I think that goes with a lot of things, because I was talking to my friend Donnie, who you know, and she was
shout out to Donnie, by the way, because she's probably listening.
Yeah, she's one of our awesome team members there. So she was telling me she was diving into The Secret as well, and again, there's good stuff there. But she was actually reading The Secret, from what I remember, and she was saying something in there, some story she like just really grabbed to, because she's just like, she's really getting into the dating game. And in there it said, how could you be ready for a partner or a life partner if half your closet is full of your stuff? right? And so it's really just setting up your life to allow things to come to you. And so I was like, oh, that is a great point. And again, with business, it's like, is your closet completely full of shit, or have you opened it up to be able to receive that $1 million, to be able to receive all of those leads that you got from, selling Tony Robbins stuff? So it's like, you really got to kind of think about more of how are you going to help people, and are you able to help people in business? And this kind of goes into another topic that I think is great for us to talk about, which is kind of where's the heart in business? And I know this is really big for you, in that a lot of new entrepreneurs go in with great intention and great heart. So most think. I know for me, I'll be very, very, I guess you could say, vulnerable and transparent here, where when I was going into business, honestly, I just didn't want to be a salesman in the roofing industry anymore. I was so over it. I was like, I just want to get out, and I want to, be able to help people in some way. So I did have a heart intention. But the primary objective was for me to no longer be in a toxic environment. And both sides are good to that. But as I moved forward with, I was publishing a book, I was starting to get speaking gigs and all this stuff, it really became more of like my veneer was more important than helping people.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
And so there were points where I felt like a complete imposter, which was kind of true, because I was like, I really want to help people, but my primary objective is taking care of myself, my veneer, because I wasn't really truly taking care of myself, if you think about it. It was more just like taking care of image. And the thing is that there's this great play that happens between helping you and helping the other person. And so when you're setting up something, it's again thinking about how can you help people in the best way possible? Like, how can you take in all of these sales for Tony Robbins? How can you create an event that's absolutely going to be amazing and rock for them so that they can get the best opportunity for them, right? But for me, I was like, no, I just want to have sales conversations and sell them a coaching package so that I can pay rent, and I can still have this kind of image. Absolutely. And it took me a while to be honest with myself that that's what I was doing, because some people don't know that they're doing it. And so once I finally figured that out, again, everything changed, and I just started leading with my heart, and I was like, fuck the rest.
That's really, really interesting.
So we just want to pause here. If anybody has any thoughts on everything that we just covered so far, because we're halfway through, and I hope you're drinking. But if you have a thought or a comment, we have the comments here actually in the chat blowing up, which is fun, having some secret conversations in there. But this is a really interesting piece, because I've actually never told anyone that before this episode recording. So be nice. But if you have any thoughts, or if you feel like sometimes that you're the imposter, and if you want to share that, we're more than happy to hear from you, or raise the roof, whichever. If you ever felt like an imposter and you're just having to feel like you got to put that facade up just so you can get the sale. I know I did.
Yeah, Terry says imposter syndrome is real. Real.
So we got a lot of people talking about finding the balance between helping people and yourself. And that's really key. There is a type of balance to that. Terry, I learned how to click that monkey. I'm not sure what that means.
It meant to be flick that monkey.
Okay.
You flick it away. Yeah, and then you watch it fly backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I call the imposter syndrome my self-doubt monkey. It's part of my whole thing, because I had a big imposter syndrome too. And when I went through the visualization with Sean Callaghy at the Unblinded Movement last January, almost a year ago. Thank you, Jamile. She invited me to that. They talked about visualization and take your scariest moment and visualize it. And for me, it was the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome that you're just talking about. And I visualized it as a monkey, but it was a giant gorilla. So I shrunk him down to the size of a marble, and he sat on the edge of my thumb, and I flicked him. And I cracked up. I fell on the floor laughing, crying so hard, watching this monkey fly through the air backwards like he didn't know what hit him. And then it was gone. It just vanished.
Wow, nice.
That's cool.
That's a cool story.
So everybody go get
visualization.
Gorilla and flick it.
Just flick it.
Flick it away.
I like that. Maybe that's some merch you can create, Terry. Just flick it.
Flick that monkey.
Flick that monkey.
Now that would be taken the wrong way.
Whoa, what kind of podcast is this? All right. Okay, everyone. So let's keep going. Cheers to you. Take a drink if you have not in a while, especially if it's water and you need to hydrate. We got a little over halfway to go, and then we are going to announce more giveaways and Q&A if you have any. Here we go.
Because I think it does happen a lot where even when people go in with the best intention,
Yeah.
and it can actually be the flip side, they go in with nothing but heart. They're like, all I want to do is help people. I just want to change the world and do this. And so they're pouring their energy into helping, but not setting themselves up to be able to take money or receive income. And then they get burnt out.
And also we're, the veneer of me and then that heart person that you're talking about, both sides of that coin aren't asking for help.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's really where this podcast really comes in, is that asking for help, finding a community that you can be vulnerable with is really key.
And the hardest thing for an entrepreneur, and that's why I started the group that I have. Apparently there's construction here today, so I don't know if you can hear that in the background.
I can.
So things happen. But yeah, just building a community where people can come hang out and just talk about things like this, because the entrepreneur journey is a very lonely one. It's really hard to say, hey, I see the world could be different and I want to take action to make that happen. Everyone around us tends to say, you don't need to change it. It's always been like this. It's going to be that way. By the way, who are you to change it? You don't know what you're doing.
Which is true in some regard. Yeah.
Totally. Which is totally true. And it's totally okay, because everyone who makes a big change, they didn't know what they were doing because it hasn't been done.
Exactly.
But the backlash and the backwards pressure that comes from even our closest friends and family, who it's out of love, they want to keep us safe. They just don't want to see us fail. They want to protect us, but they don't encourage us to go do something new and change the world. So a lot of people have to put on that veneer, and we have to say, you know what? I am going to do this. I'm going to put on this image, like someone who's doing it. But again, there becomes a disconnect because they don't feel comfortable enough asking for that help.
See, I agree with all of that. Mine was the exact opposite. My upbringing, everyone was like, you can do it. Like very supportive, which I love and appreciate.
Lucky.
But problem with that as well, two sides to the coin, right?
Yeah.
Problem with that as well is that because everyone's like, yeah, you can do it. There was so much enthusiasm and so much confidence building that I felt like I had to be the perfect being.
Yeah.
Because if I let them down, oh my God, like that was not going to happen.
Right.
And so I wouldn't do things because I was afraid that I couldn't be perfect. Like play soccer. Like, why won't you play soccer? Oh, because I won't be good at it on the first day. You know? So for me, my experience was like, there's so much like support that I felt like if I went and failed, I would just disappoint everybody. And I couldn't live with that. Like that for me as an Aquarius or whatever, like that's just like, could not do it.
Yeah. And so, in some future episodes, we dive deep into that too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We'll talk about these traumas and
we talk about a lot of traumas.
Yeah. That's
another like theme in our podcast for sure.
Yeah. Which is a really important thing, I think, to talk about.
Absolutely. Which I think we've already highlighted that we have recorded 9 other episodes.
Ooh.
And we're actually re-recording our first episode.
Yes, which I was very pro and very against, just to be clear out there.
We're very conflicted.
Yeah, because the whole point, right, is that we want to showcase that we don't know what we're doing.
Which we don't.
Which we don't.
Let's make that very clear.
That it's okay. And because we're doing this huge watch party to just showcase and laugh at ourselves and be like, oh, look at how ridiculous we are. Mm-hmm. So I wanted that first raw, terrible, it was bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I wanted to showcase that and just to throw it out there, which we will, throw it out in the future. But the content wasn't there. And I don't think it was content that actually supports you guys or for our listeners. So we felt it was very important to re-record to impact more people quickly.
And, I think this is actually a really good lesson for us and for those of you who are listening, is that even if you don't get the first few steps perfect, whatever, you can always come back and reform them and recreate them and tweak them as you need to before you even publish. Right. So This is kind of like in the fiction world. If you're going to write a fiction book, they actually say to just start writing the book in the middle and then write the beginning, because we know what kind of impact we want to create. We may not have the perfect message yet. We may not have the refined everything yet. And guys, listen to this. David and I talk about this a lot, and David is like so annoyed by it. He's like, you need to stop having phone conversations.
We just give ourselves more work every time.
But it's important work.
It's like, hey, we've got this perfect thing and this perfect plan. And then we talk a little bit more and it's like, okay, now we have to double everything and do even more. What if we did it this way and added this on there? Which is cool, which is awesome because we're thinking, we're growing, and even doing the first episode, it forced us to figure out how to launch a podcast. Right. So we got an editor. We got it on all the major podcast sites. We figured out even how to edit, how to splice, how to do different camera angles and mix them all together.
Yeah, and if you watch that first episode, you're going to be horrified at their camera angles. You're going to be like, what?
The editor did pretty good, honestly.
Because of what we had, he did a very good job. Absolutely, for sure. Like, it can be done, folks. It can be done. But the cool thing about what I like about coming back to the beginning is that ourselves included, we kind of went down this journey of recording 10 podcasts, interviewing 3 guests, and then really doing all the branding, and then doing the marketing launch, and then we're like,
and then redoing the branding.
And then redoing the branding, and then saying we need to record the first episode. Because we're coming back to the beginning. You go down the journey and you come back to the beginning. And I think in business, that's always a good thing, because a lot of companies, they can get big or they cannot get big, and they keep forgetting why they're really here. And so I think coming back to the beginning is really important, and something that we'll probably continue to do through our journey here. And so, kind of the fable here, or the lesson, I guess, is you can keep going and going and going, but you can get really lost on the way because you haven't remembered why you even started. And the why is really kind of where David and I are here. And so reconnecting to why we really wanted to start this podcast and why we're connected to the message behind the podcast is really key. And not only for us, but how we connect to our listeners.
Absolutely. And so if you listeners have any ideas or suggestions for what you want to hear, we are totally open to that. So you can put that in whatever comment place is commentable.
Wherever this thing is at.
Wherever this is. And because it's on Apple, it's on Google, so people will be listening in all different places.
We are not hard to find. Let's just put it that way.
We did good. We did good.
Yeah, we did really good.
And you can email us as well.
So what's going to be happening in the future, David? Why don't you touch on that for the podcast? What can people really look forward to?
So really what they can look forward to is some deeper conversations into our personal lives, which gets a little raw sometimes, which is cool.
Which is how I like it, but yeah.
Right. I just think it's what needs to be out there now. Yeah. There's so much fluff, and that's kind of, we talked about that before as well. No coaches are really teaching anything that hasn't been taught. Mm-hmm. So it's more about really getting intimate with a community, and we want to not be the head of, but just facilitate a community of people where they can come together, where we can share things and really support each other.
Absolutely. Well said.
Thank you.
So we have more episodes coming out. I know that you're here at the launch party, just being like, "What
Party
is
time.
party time?" But we are on just about everything, and we're learning more and more every single day of how this works. How can we connect with people more? That's really what my question is. How can I connect people more? Like I just started regularly doing TikTok, and on my own profile as well as managing the podcast profile. And it's been quite interesting what small consistency can do. I mean, just in the last, 5 days that I've been doing TikTok, it's, my engagement's crazy. People are really watching my videos. I went from just 50 views a video all the way up to 500 views a video consistently now. And I'm posting just twice a day. And it's fun. I'm having a fun time doing it. So I'm always
TikTok
looking forward.
Is the freaking best. It's just, if anyone isn't on it, they need to get on it. Unless they have stuff they need to get done, then they probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Just be aware, you will want to do it when your phone is literally dying. Literally force yourself to get away from it. It's kind of like when YouTube was new, everyone was watching YouTube, go down the tube hole, they call it. You will go down the TikTok hole. Yeah, for sure. So just I don't know, block your time for it, for sure. Be like, I'm going to only be on it for 5 hours today. That's totally acceptable.
Better than TV, I will tell you.
I think that's true to a degree. It really is. But we're always learning, and it's just David, myself, and a couple other people we're paying to do editing here and there and stuff like that. And we're, I really hope that we can continue to grow this and really reach more people and maybe facilitate live events once that's able to happen again.
Live events.
We talked a little bit about that, but we don't know what the fuck we're doing, and we're just kind of moving with what people are really needing that goes along with the message. Yeah.
So talk to us, guys. Let us know, and girls, and let us know what you want to hear.
So welcome to the I don't know what the fuck I'm doing community.
Yeah. So
absolutely
bringing it back. So talking about that veneer situation where we're putting out this front, what do you think are the top 3 tips that people can do to either be more authentic or be more upfront with who they are and what they're doing, and to be less veneer, but still maintain a level of success?
I think it's the message I've always had, and I secretly always wanted to live until I did, which was unleashing your authentic self more and more, and you will be surprised as to how the world has been waiting for you to arrive. And how you do that is literally acknowledge that you're being cowardly. And I'm calling you out because I had to call myself out. You are being cowardly by holding on to this veneer finish or veneer teeth, whatever. And really to let that go and allow yourself to take courage and to show people who you really are and ask for the help where you need it. Getting really honest with yourself. That's 2 things. Being honest with yourself, being courageous, and asking for help. 3. Boom. Like that.
So honest, courage, and asking for help.
Yeah. And that is one of the hardest things that I think I've read this somewhere, and I've seen plenty of people do it on social media too. What's the hardest thing that you can say? I love you, or I need help. And it's always, I need help for entrepreneurs. Because we have to have that veneer. So,
and Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because everybody knows exactly what you're talking about, no matter how you say it.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Is that right? No one really knows how to say it correctly. That's funny. Anyway, I wonder if there's a commercial out there where they actually say it and then you're like, but it's probably different in the next commercial.
Probably.
Anyway, so what are your 3 tips for people to take the veneer off and move into a more authentic living and business?
So I think tip number one is actually creating something. So whether it's a website, whether it's a blog, whether it's any kind of content, whether it's just consistent TikToks, I think the more that gets created, the less it's a veneer and the more it's actual reality, right? Tip number two is to connect with other entrepreneurs and other business or anyone in the community that you're wanting to be in. When you have that veneer of, hey, I am this, and not the new people, the people who are experienced, because the ones who get more experience, they tend to just be more open and honest, and they're like, and they're all really cool people.
Yeah.
And tip number three is watch our podcast as often as possible, because we're going to talk about all the kind of things that can help and make you more authentic and open while we're... I couldn't think of a third thing, so I just lobbed that one out there.
No, I think that's true. I think that if you are looking to be around people that are taking off the veneer and no longer being a veneer, they are wanting to really make progress and get the help that they actually know they need. If that is you, this is definitely something you want to follow and be part of, because we all don't know what the fuck we're doing, and we are going to start saying, and that's okay.
And that's okay. And
That's
it's all
okay.
right. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and that's okay.
Exactly. So hopefully we all start getting luckier more often. But hey, we are part of this community and the I Don't Know What the Fuck I'm Doing podcast. Thanks for watching and or listening.
Yeah.
Like, share, and comment.
Ooh, ring that bell, hit that comment, hit that subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe button. Yeah, we're on so many different platforms, and this is going everywhere. We're not doing like 20 million things. So, so whatever it's the call to action is, do it.
Yeah, do that call to action so that you can hang out with us all the time. And actually, you can even just send us an email or like a Facebook message. Anastasia and I are pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I saw some spaces for friends on Facebook, and I'm totally okay with kicking people off too. So
Yeah.
go ahead and add me as a friend.
Cool, guys.
All right.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Anastasia.
Thanks, David. And thanks the I Don't Know What the Fuck I'm Doing community. See you at the next episode.
Boom.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
might want
turn
to
it
turn
on.
that on. All right, everybody. Can we get a round of applause, please? Yay! Thank you.
We're kind of famous, no big deal.
Yeah, yeah. So we had some people in the comments actually tell us how Worcestershire sauce is supposed to be pronounced. What was that again in the chat?
Oh.
I think Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca, thanks for being here.
It's not mine.
Someone
Echo in.
Echo in there. Real quick. We had Rebecca. She said Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire. Is that Worcestershire?
I
I don't even know.
come on.
I'm from
Uh,
and we have Worcester. Worcester is a city. I don't know if somebody's from Massachusetts, and so you say Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
That is still hard to say.
Worcestershire. I legitimately thought it was Worcestershire.
I
Worcestershire.
mean,
You could just call it the W sauce. I don't know that
That's-
anybody would get that confused.
I like that, Terry.
Yeah.
The W.
It's all about the origination of the actual sauce, which was like Worcester's, which was I guess a city in
Worcester?
England. It's Worcester.
I was just talking about
Worcestershire sauce. But that's where I get messed up. But I know it's like a town in England that it was made from, but I can't
Right.
pronounce the town.
that. So the
Yeah.
only takeaway from that episode was we don't know how to pronounce
Don't
that.
know how to-
Yeah.
There was nothing else gained.
We like to have fun here. So that is the first episode of our podcast. That was the YouTube video that will be going up around like midnight-ish, whenever that decides to load. And we're going to put that on Spotify, Apple, all of those things. Anchor, that's probably the best place to go. And then you can go to either whatever stream of podcasts you like to listen to.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. Cool.
So I think we can do you want to open it up to like a Q&A?
Yeah, let's do that. And then
And
we will
see-
do an announcement for another awesome
4-day trip.
giveaway.
Yeah.
It's another 4-day trip, guys. We're going to give away another 4-day
Yes.
trip to Mexico. Raise the roof, if you like it, raise the roof. Yeah. Oh, I like that Mitch. She's got some shoulder action going on there.
I like these party things. There's hearts and people are doing like emoticons. I don't think I actually even know how to do
Amanda's
that.
got a celebration trombone.
Terry's been rocking them too.
This is so cool.
Mexico is Mexico, by the way.
Mexico. Thank you. Thank you.
Mexico, Worcestershire.
Mexico, where's
The emoticons are under your more button.
there is a more.
Oh, and Barb's got the
button.
heart going.
Oh, no, it's
I
the
guess I can't
reactions
do my
next
own.
to it.
Oh.
Oh.
Can I do my own?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, because I'm not sharing. Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, Q&A. What do you guys want to know? What kind of questions do you guys have?
Yes, we're opening up. You can unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat and we can answer questions. It can be anything from like how we created the podcast or, you know. What,
So you mentioned at one point having guests. What does that process look like? Like, how does somebody get on the show to be a guest with you?
Well, we ask. And so.
Oh, okay.
And we're creating the formal process also. So
Yeah.
it's if you go to, I don't think it's up yet, but if you go to IDK WTF pod.com, we're going to have an application process in there.
So we originally just reached out to people that we knew were close to us that we could actually reach in a shorter time.
Yeah.
And because literally, I think it was mid-November, we were like, let's start this podcast. So,
Yeah.
like,
it's-
yeah, David's like, we're doing a 21-day launch. I'm like, fuck. So that's what we did. And so I reached out to some people, David reached out to some people, and we were able to interview some awesome folks. We have what's coming up. We'll give you some insight. So we have Chad, who is the co-owner and one of the founders of Thrive Workplace Co-Spaces here in Colorado. He's got multiple locations. It's actually where we're filming right now. Hey. And we have Tayo Roxon. He's coming up in February for a release on that podcast. He is an awesome guy from Nigeria that's lived all over the world, and his father was a diplomat. Now he's in New York City, and he is an author, consultant, and speaker, and all those things in diversity in corporations and business. And big deal. So we're like
kind of a
super
big
excited
deal.
to have like all these really cool people. And we just got a slew of women that are going to be interviewed here soon, which is going to be awesome. So it's going to be a blast. But really, I just reached out to them in whatever platforms. Tayo, I reached out to him on TikTok. And so like you can get anyone anywhere if you really try to go to places where there's not a lot of like comments or messages happening in that space. You'll be
There's a
surprised.
great platform that I've used a couple of times. I'll send it to you guys. I'll connect with y'all and I'll send it over to you because there's matchmaker.com. It is not a dating site. It's a podcast site for podcasters. Yeah.
Yeah. I did sign us up for that recently. She's like,
That's
what is
a really
this?
good one.
I
I've
was
had
like-
amazing conversations with people from there. So that
Okay.
one's been really good. And then there's a couple of like Facebook community podcast pages as well.
Oh.
And if they have the like in search of guest or in search of being on somebody else's show options in there, but I've found amazing guests through some of those podcast groups in Facebook as well.
Awesome.
That
Yeah,
is
we'll
awesome.
definitely have a conversation here in a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Appreciate it.
Can't wait.
Is there any other questions out there? Or comments or shout outs or
And you can just be like, dude, that was a terrible episode. I'm
I
mad.
mean,
I'm upset that I'm
everything's
here.
on the table
I'm okay with
here.
that.
yeah. All good. Flying stars. Yeah. No,
I think the biggest takeaway that I took, guys, is that you guys never stopped. Like Bob the Builder was outside of your room and you kept on going. And like, And the fact that you like instinctively thought of the website name, and then all of a sudden this big guru's like reaching out, like that's what I'm taking away today is keep going, keep going.
Yeah, because it's really just one thing. Like it's going to be the one thing that you don't expect is the one thing that gets you there. And it's what basically every successful person I've ever met has said that exact thing.
Yeah, no, for me, I had my book, and it was just the subtitle had a millennial word in it. Millennial.
Yeah,
and people were
it
like,
was the buzzword.
Yeah, and it was like, it was for millennials, but all these corporations were like, we must understand this breed, help us. And so I was like, okay. So again, that's this like another random thing of luck that happened, right? So yeah, keep going, guys. It just, you never know what's really going to work, which is cool and surprising and sucks also at the same time. Any questions?
Yeah, what else do you guys
think? I just put one in the chat.
Oh. Is the number one thing something totally different or off base of what their truest passions are? Could you expand on that a little bit?
So for instance, like I am a relationship love coach, and as I'm like searching and, you know, veneering or whatever you want to call it, if all of a sudden I have an idea to go clean up houses, right? And then all of a sudden like, oh shit, cleaning up houses, I'm a millionaire now. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you hear, like when you were hearing those stories of one thing, was it something that kind of took them off the path of their passion of what they really wanted to do?
I think it can go either way, really.
Yeah, I'm going to say I think typically is staying on the path that you're actually passionate about. So probably personally, my biggest, the thing that set me back the most in my entire life is changing directions. Because it's kind of the entrepreneurial downfall, our pitfall, because we're so like, well, what if we fix this? Well, now what if we fix that? And we get to this point of we start gaining momentum in this one thing that we're doing, and it's keeping that momentum going, which is when that one thing's that we don't expect to take off will take off. But if we put it down and go do something else, typically, unless you get really, really lucky, that the momentum doesn't hit. And then you're not set up to actually use the momentum if you do get it because you don't have the systems in place.
So I kind of want to build on that too, because I'm going to say, yes, that's true for David and people like David.
Yes, that's true, but I disagree completely.
Because that's true, but I could disagree completely. No, I don't disagree.
Okay.
Again, I think it just depends. So for David, excuse me, he's got that ADHD brain, and he's like shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
Squirrel, right? I saw those
Squirrel.
Squirrel. So that's a thing that can definitely happen. It happens to me too. But for me, because I'm very much in that state that I have to find validity and I have to have people, like especially my family, be proud of me. Like that's a thing I have to deal with and struggle with my identity.
We talked about in episode 2. Also.
Yeah, stay tuned. So for me, I really need to check in with my instinct and my true self in alignment and make sure that I'm doing what I really am supposed to be doing that makes me fulfilled, happy, so that I can serve others. So I can pivot a lot. And so that's fine. Like I closed down my whole business and accepting clients on January 1st this year. And so it'll be almost a year, wow, that I haven't actually accepted a client, really. Wow, it's been great. So just for this year, but I know next year it's going to be different because I'm going to be moving into the travel industry, which has actually been a huge true calling for me. And so but I needed to learn those lessons in order for me to really listen to my instinct and say, this is what I really want to do and need to do and have to do, or else I feel like, oh, I'm not breathing. And so it can go both ways. It's really just getting down to your authentic self and really asking that instinct and that question, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I getting distracted? Or do I need to do something completely different or the same thing? It's different for everyone, I feel like. So you really just gotta ask that really deep question. Know your why, Mitch says. I love it.
Yeah. What else you got? Questions, comments? You can shower us with praise. That's cool too.
Totally take that. All right.
No break. Oh man, tough crowd.
Stasia, did you, this is Alex.
Hey,
Did
Alex.
you read the book Authentic Self? Because I got an accidental promotion is what I like to call it at work. I applied for the experience and then I got it, not expecting it.
Nice.
And it's for a supervising position and I've never done that before. So my boss told me to read that book. I definitely didn't find that it related to me because it was more business based. But what I ended up having to read was Accidental Leader. And that actually helped me a lot, but it did talk about, finding the way that you need to lead and do what you need to do. I know it doesn't relate fully to the business side of stuff, but you talking about it rang familiar. So
I love it. And by the way, Alex and I used to be roommates in the same house in college. I missed that. Anyway, no, I haven't read it. It's probably a good book for me to read because I talk about
absolutely.
all the time. But by the way, congratulations on your promotion. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, in the middle of COVID, it's fantastic.
That's perfect timing.
I
mean,
had 2 days worth of normal training, and then it was all right. Let's start COVID scheduling and everything else like that. It's just been a whirlwind, but it's nice to get something in your year 2020. So
yeah, hurrah! I think we've all got a lot of cool gifts that we were unexpecting in 2020. We've had some challenges for sure, but I think there's been some great things coming out of it. So did we have another question in there? I thought you saw one.
I was looking. I thought I saw one, but I didn't see a specific.
Oh, Rebecca. I started my journey in financial services and someone mentioned,
Sorry.
Scrolling all over the place. Okay, let's start that over. Rebecca, I started my journey in financial services and someone mentioned how much I light up when I start talking about dogs. Brought me into being a dog trainer and I absolutely love it. The sales aren't even pressure anymore. LOL. Love that, Rebecca. I'm so proud of you.
And that's diving into like what you're actually passionate about instead of what you think you should be doing. It's like the thing, I don't think I say it on any of our episodes, but something I say a lot is that there's professional video game players now, like people making millions playing video games. You can make money doing anything you want now. It's like ridiculous.
It's so cool.
Yeah. So dive into that passion, dive into yourself.
So Diana, you and I are going to get some sponsorships for Beat Saber here soon, right? in our Oculus. All right. Awesome. So I think we're running out of questions. If we are.
Oh, let's do our giveaway.
Yeah.
There
is a giveaway.
Yeah. So we're going to do another 4-day Mexico trip.
4-day Mexico
trip.
How
does that sound?
Raise the roof. Woo! Raise the roof. You're excited. Or your shoulders. Hey, that's great. I love it.
Get that going. Over
here. Yep. Barb. Whoop, whoop. Mexico, excuse me. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Mexico. Sorry.
There you go. The school, the whiplash, and slaps. Thank you. So let me get that random generator here. Okay, we're gonna share the screen, and we are going to use the random number generator to figure out who is winning.
Yeah. So while she's pulling that up, again, I really, really want to thank everyone here. This is so much fun, and it's so great to see you guys being a part of this and just enjoying it and seeing the interaction and the feedback. It's really cool. So it's really rewarding for me and probably us. I'll talk for us.
Let's say us.
I don't want to speak for you.
Only David's having fun.
Yeah, it's just me.
Brenda saying, love you podcast guys. Congratulations. Thank you.
Aww.
Thank you everyone for the shout outs that you just put in the comments. I'm not seeing them all.
All right,
so here we go.
That number.
Drum roll, please. We are going to click the generator, and then whoever gets that number wins the 4-day Mexico trip. 3, 2, 1. 369.
Nice.
All right, I gotta stop the share before I share everyone's information.
369.
369.
369.
Okay, there's a lot of numbers in here. Okay, hold on. 369.
Oh.
What? No, 369 right here. 3. Oh no, you're right. I was dyslexic and finding a different number. All right. Here we are.
Snap.
We have a winner, everyone. And the winner of the 4-day Mexico trip is Oh, is she here?
I
That's a
don't think
great
she's
question.
here.
If you're here, please let us know by unmuting yourself. Diane Chavez. Woo! Diane Chavez, are you here?
I don't think she's in here.
She might not be here. That means that someone else has a chance.
Just dealing with my grandkid.
Oh,
Is that Diane Chavez?
No, that's.
I was like, is that your granddaughter? What?
Grandson.
Ah, hi, your grandson.
But
So
no,
I don't
she's
think
not
Diane
here.
Chavez is here. Oh, which means we have another winner coming our way.
Let's
Okay,
do it again.
Here we go.
I'm pretty sure
Alright,
it's
let me-
too. It's getting a little bit late.
He's tired.
Watch a little bit
If you don't
more.
mute yourself, that'd be helpful. And then we will do the generator. All right, you're on the screen. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please, for the 4-day Mexico trip. 551.
Ooh,
Such high numbers.
Another
This is really
laggard,
interesting.
as they
Let's
call.
stop doing that, Anastasia. So sorry. Keep sharing people's information. It's like not good. All right. What was the number? 500? 51? There we go.
We totally know what we're doing. here.
Yes, 551 goes to the lucky winner. Oh, that person's actually already won something. So we're going to have to pull the number again. Because you can't win twice. Sorry, guys. That's just not how it's going to roll. Okay, here we go. We got to do the number again. Here we go. 1. Here we go. The giveaway goes to
So hard to give stuff away.
607. Wow, this is so
Going for the
confusing.
laggards here.
I know it's not me, guys. It's Google. Blame Google. But not 607. You don't want to blame Google. All right. This is a person who's not wanting to
Oh.
yet. So we have a winner. Are they here? Here we go. We got the
She-
winner is Angela Schnabelt. Are you here, Angela?
She was here,
She was here.
but I think she got off early. Oh, no.
She missed out. Angela, if you're here, yo, Coach Angela, are you here? Amanda's like, be gone.
No, she
Well,
jumped
she is-
out.
She is not here. You guys
Wah,
are present to
wah.
win these, guys. Oh man! So in the future when we do these, you gotta stick around. All right, here we go. Number generator. Hopefully this is the one. Hopefully this is the one.
And so again, this is just rewarding you guys for being the troopers and being awesome, because it does take some stamina.
I know
sit
Philip
through
and
some of
Jim were
these
like
things.
pushing it. They were like, let's go, let's go. All right, here we go. And drum roll, please. Number is 557. Did we just do that one? Did we just do that one?
551.
Oh, 51.
Yeah.
I was just making sure. I was like, is going to be Mr. Todd Shwitema.
Do we have
Did I get
Todd?
that right? I thought I
Isn't
saw
that-
Shwitema earlier. Todd, are you here?
He was here.
He was here. Oh my gosh, this is crazy, guys. The suspense, the buildup.
Why is it so hard to
Who's
give
gonna
stuff
win?
away?
And a pregnant pause of the night. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great. I love it. Okay, guys, man, this is amazing.
Just
so,
you don't have to share screen. I think just
yeah,
crank
I'm
out
not going to
numbers
share the
till we
screen
find
because it
someone.
takes too much time. So here we go. Generate 479. I think we're going to get a winner.
All I want to do is give you guys free things.
All right. I don't know if this person's
That's
here.
the wrong.
Andrew.
You're not.
Oh, you're all right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, that person won again too. So hold on. Well, this
Was
is
that-
getting difficult. Okay, 120. The other person had one as well. That was another person I want to give. So 120.
This is actually really fun.
No, that person won
Go to
something
that.
too. Okay. You know what? We have to rethink our ticket stuff next time. 383. Or how else we can do this. 383. If you guys know of any tools that we could do this next time, that would be really helpful. You can put those in the comments. 383. 383. Okay. Les Sparks.
He's not here.
Not here. You know,
I don't think.
I'm wondering if we should just like get a hat at this point.
Who wants to tell us the nicest thing? I'm open to being
And the
bribed
fact that you're
here.
still here and you're like, oh my gosh, by the 5th, like 20,000th giveaway. Come on, guys. Okay. 2, 6, 5 goes to, drumroll please, Jim Bailey.
Jim is here.
Jim
There we
is
go.
definitely here. You win a 4-night stay to Mexico.
I don't have a passport.
You really don't have a passport?
No.
Well, you might need to get one. I mean, I think
You can
Amanda
gift
would
it
do
to
like
me.
Attaboy.
I'm volunteering. Just saying.
Do you want to do Vegas instead?
I'm volunteering. I want it.
I'll do Vegas.
All right, let's do Vegas
We can
instead
give
for
you
you.
Vegas, for sure.
Yay!
City of Light.
But everyone that is here also gets $100 in restaurant gift certificates.
Yep, everybody wins. So
So-
thank you so much for being here, guys.
you're awesome.
You win
Thank
so
you.
much. Please remember to go to Patreon,
Yeah.
as that is where you can get the insider scoop on all that stuff.
A cup of
behind the
coffee
scenes.
will get something even more cool
Huh?
for our next giveaway.
What's our next? Wait, what's our next giveaway?
I don't know yet. It depends
Oh.
on how many.
See, he always
Subscribers we
springs
want.
this on me, and I'm like, what is happening? I'm the planning person. He's like the spontaneous person. I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, I don't have a planning bone. in my body.
No, that's where I come in.
But thank you so much,
guys.
everybody. We love you. We appreciate you. The support is incredible, and I cannot wait to see what comes out of this adventure.
Yeah.
So, and you guys are the part of it, the biggest part of it.
Nice
Oh.
job, guys.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year.
Guys, that was fun.
Very
Aw,
fun.
Thanks, guys. And congratulations to all winners, which is everyone.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Y'all are
All right.
fantastic, super entertaining. Thank you so much for an awesome time. And Jamila, thanks for coming. It's good to see your face.
Oh, thanks, Terry. Thanks, Ching. Thanks. Oh, I'm going to say it wrong again.
Terry, I love
Jamila.
your energy. You're awesome.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Y'all got great energy in here.
Yeah.
I love it. So great.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Happy
Have a
New
good
Year. We'll see you in your emails and on Patreon.
Happy New Year.